What up guys, Sokar here with another tutorial. This time we'll be having a look at the duo mode sugarcane farm that I built in a recent LP episode of mine. It has both manual and automatic mode and you can switch between them as you please. Please do note that there is a world download in the description and I recommend that you download that so you can have a look at the contraption yourself. But without further ado, let's get to the tutorial. Before we start building, I'll just quickly give you an inside look of how this contraption works. Now let's start off in offline mode. There we go, you can see it's in offline mode because the indicator lamp is off. In this mode you have to manually operate the contraption. The pros of this is of course that you can let the whole thing grow until it's full and then harvest it all at once when you please, and thus you don't have items lying around at random. The con is of course you have to press the button, which some people prefer not to. Now in the automatic mode, like this, you can see it harvests itself once and then resets into the automatic mode. Now if anything grows into the indicator area like this, it will automatically harvest the individual cell that it activates. Now the reason that it quickly harvests itself when you switch to automatic mode is because, let's say that you have it in offline mode and you switch into unlight mode and there is actually sugarcanes grown all the way up here. Now if you switched it to offline mode and it didn't harvest itself, this cell would basically never harvest itself because this block cannot be will not be updated. So that's why you have the automatic harvest when you switch it to automatic mode. For this tutorial we'll be doing things stage by stage. That means that I've pre-built different stages of the farm and we'll be reviewing them one at a time and going over what changes in them. Hopefully doing it this way we'll be able to get things done fast and it will be more transparent and easy to follow. Now the first stage here, you can see that we have a the standard front here. Do note the dimensions. On it we have the harvest button, the automatic button, the indicator light, pressure plate, and the water tunnel here is 4 wide with a 5th block ending it with a water source in it. And that's the first stage. In this stage you can see that we have added the individual wires. We have the automatic wire there, we have the manual wire there, each leading to separate systems. Please note the dimensions. The manual wire is 4 away from the starting point here, which is adjacent to the block there with the button on it. 4 that way, then 6 blocks this way, 1 block down and another block, 8 blocks in total. On top of that you put the torch, run redstone wire all across it, and that's that. The automatic wire, as you can see, is in yellow. If you do not need an automatic mode, simply ignore all instructions on the yellow wire. For the wire here, you just lead it 6 blocks out. As you can see, just keep it tightly towards the water tunnel. Lead the wire on it into the ending block of the tunnel with a repeater going into it. Below it you add a piece of redstone and repeater adjacent to that, set to 3 ticks. A torch on the side of the repeater. On the other side here, you can see the white block. You add a torch to that, a piece of redstone on top of the block here, and below it another torch. Above the torch you add a sticky piston, and on the sticky piston you simply place a block. This stage you will quickly add on top of the tunnel here. You'll close it off and encircle it like this so that you have an upwards pointing tunnel. At the end of that you will add 8 additional blocks so that you have a line of blocks like this that is exactly as long as both this monostable circuit, which we'll get to in a second, and this white wire that is the manual wire. Now what you'll do with the T flip-flop that we built last time, you'll simply add a block besides the redstone torch, place a redstone wire on that, and then you simply run the wire like so all the way into this monostable circuit, which you build like this. Note that you need the 2 repeaters to be at 4 for it to work properly, with other timings that we'll do later in the build. Again, just note how it's done and build it like this. At the end, you add a redstone torch. At the very end of that, 2 pieces of redstone. Now the other wire that you lead here is basically the one that goes to the vertical wire that controls the automatic mode. Simply run it like so. Run it just above the automatic button wire that we did before. Run it up like this, all the way to the lantern. This will keep the lantern on when it's in automatic mode. And to lead the redstone wire up to this block, use a piece of glowstone so that the power can go both that way and then up again. And put a redstone torch on that. Do note that you can use a lever instead. This is a cheaper build, but in my opinion looks a little bit worse. The way you do this is you simply put a lever on there instead of a button, and then you run the wire all the way along like this. You don't have to. You simply remove the T flip-flop we built in the previous stage. Run the wire all along like this into the monostable circuit that we just built, like so, and then you simply run the wire up like this to the automatic vertical wire. In this stage we add in the water flow and some additional pools so that we can plant sugar canes on these pieces of dirt here. Basically you run a row of dirt from the very hole there 9 blocks out so that you end it at the exact point that we did with the white block line before. End it off with a white block, or any block for that matter. Put in your water flow and then make the 2 pools like so around this dirt pool. Put water in that, and that's all you need to do for this stage. Now what you do on top of what we just did is you add a block to close off the little pool of water. Run that all the way along, and above that you put 2 rows of pistons on both. Do the same thing on both sides. On each end you run blocks up like so that you enclose the farm. Do that on both sides. And on this side, remember to put glowstone adjacent to the end of the piston row. This is important. And inside it, you put down your sugar canes and your iron bars, like so. Remember that you need 3 layers of iron bars like this to ensure that you get 100% of the harvest. Now what you do is you run the vertical wire up like so. Simply place a block, torch, and so on and so forth all the way up to this line that we did before. Then you put redstone all the way along here from glowstone to glowstone, and on the end you put a block, both ends, with a torch on it, and adjacent to that torch you put another line of blocks with redstone and torches on like so. Do that on both sides, and if you want the automatic mode, put a sticky piston on here instead of the block that we placed in the previous stage. Now you simply enclose the farm, put glowstone all the way along the top like this, put blocks in between them like so, with a hole in the middle right here. And then you put a block here at the end as well to, close it off, to close the drop point off. Now to build the butt switch, that will be our automatic mode. Build it like so. You have the sticky piston we placed last stage there. Put a block on it. Below that, a torch. Run 3 blocks out with redstone on it. Remember to put a torch at the end. Put a piece of glowstone adjacent to this piston here in the harvest line. And run the wire up like so into the repeater. Remember to set the repeater at 3 ticks. And that is it. The butt switch now works. Now in this last stage, you will start off by extending the automatic vertical wire here by putting a block on top of the torch that we placed earlier. On top of that, put another torch. Then on the side of this torch you put another block, a piece of redstone on that, and put a piston like this at this very side, so that when it is extended, the piston arm will block this piston from extending. Now you go on to the torch that we placed right here, and adjacent to that, put a block below it, and then on the side of it, you put this monostable circuit, basically a redstone wire, a torch on the block, 3 blocks of redstone wire, a block up, and another piece of redstone. And in between those 2 pieces of redstone you put 2 repeaters, one set to 4 ticks and another set to 2. Note that the ticks on the repeaters are important. At the end you put another torch, and adjacent to that 4 blocks with redstone on it, and then another block adjacent to the redstone like this. Do note that this block needs to be directly in line with the block we placed earlier there, below the harvest pistons. And on top of this torch, you put another block with another redstone torch above that, and you're basically done. This is the whole thing built. Now it's basically workable. You can see that if we switch it to manual mode like this and push harvest, we should receive our bounty, as you can see. And if you switch it to automatic, you will hear it harvest and then be in automatic mode. And just to make sure that the harvest function works, the automatic one, we'll try and place a block here. And as you can see, it works just fine. All you have to do in order to stack the next cell on top of what you have already built is simply run the next dirt line on top of the glowstone, like you see below there, on both sides, and you build the water pools again and the water stream there, and then you simply repeat from what you did last time, and you can do this all the way to sky limit should you wish so. Now you do need to adjust the 2 vertical wires along the way in between the cells in order for them to line up, and I'll now show you repeatable ways of doing that to make it easier. The automatic vertical wire goes like this, the part that we've built before. You keep running this vertical wire up like so, there's no variation on that. What you do though is you put torches on so that they're always at the same stage. So the first one would be you place a block with a piece of redstone on it. Next time you put a torch diagonally above the piston. The next one you put it directly on the side of the piston. The next one you put diagonally below the piston with a block on top of it. And then you're back to the block with a piece of redstone on it, and so on. Now the harvest wire, there's 3 stages of it. There is the one that you've seen before, the one we've built already, where the torch is directly adjacent to the wire here. The next one is where there's a block, like so, with a torch above that, so that this line now receives power from this torch through this block. Then the next one goes like this. You put a block on that, and then a torch on the side of it, another block with another torch on the side of that, and then you're back to the torch being directly adjacent to the wire, and you just keep going on like that all the way through the cells, as many as you have. Please do note that there are several things you can do to improve the farm yourself if you want to. You can, for example, use ice in the item conveyor tunnel at the bottom. You can't use it in the cells themselves because the glowstone will melt it, but you can use it at the very end and it will speed up the collection process. You can also make it bigger by adding cells on the side, putting it on the side of the central drop tunnel. And you can probably find other ways to improve it as well if you wish so. I hope you learned something, and I hope you'll enjoy the farm. If you're new to my channel, please do note that I do a technical LP. It's turning out somewhat alright, and it puts a lot of weight on redstone contraptions and aesthetically pleasing builds. If that's the sort of thing you like to watch, please do check it out. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.